What's going on, guys? I am going to do something I have not done at all for my videos. Usually it's very analytical, but today I'm going to do a reaction video towards the newest episode for C9's League of Legends team. I'm very curious because there's a lot of good content that's published by teams, at least specific teams on documentary style, and usually I'm just more interested in the reviews, like how does the team actually function and talk with each other. Of course, there's probably gonna be some stuff like highlights of the games or whatever that don't matter so much, but regardless, let's get into it.
Our team is not that good.
I think if there's one thing I would change about this year, it would be that I would change...
Make sure I move my webcam a little smaller so it's not taking so much space. End of an era. I mean, like, people say end of an era, but like, the era would basically be in, well, it's because it's Berserker, right? End of Berserker era. I was gonna say, like, true end of an era would be like Blabber being removed, to be honest. But that probably will never happen.
It's up to you if you care, but definitely gonna stay. I would say you can change because like you're wearing
This is not where they practice, right? Oh, this has to be their hotel for the LCS, surely.
Bro, we're gonna scale.
Bro, you have to let me get a kill if I fight you.
I don't make that much money, bro. Can you make it like $10 per kill?
$10? Okay, sure. Lock it in. Deal.
No.
Deal. It's a deal. It's on camera. She heard it. The camera heard it. Oh, aggressive.
I wonder how much Reaper plays solo queue. It's pretty common to see like at least very strategic based coaches to still play solo queue. Nuke Duck, Mythy. Actually, I don't know if Mythy plays, but he probably does.
Okay.
God, that hair is terrible,
Ready
man.
to win though. Just okay. Just okay.
That hair is terrible.
Fucking okay.
How can you just be okay?
I'm just okay.
But like, even guys like Richard and Sharks and whatever, like, yeah, like all these guys like would play solo queue. And naturally, it just helps you read fights, and it helps a lot more than you think, to be honest. Like, I know people would look at requirements sometimes to be like, you need to be like Masters Plus, Diamond Plus to be a coach. And I think that was funny for a bit at one point. But it is kind of true.
Fantastic.
It is actually kind of true. It really, like, being bronze definitely like kind of hurts your ability to gauge specifics. You can do some macro parts, right? Like overarching macro. You can do that.
Great.
But you're gonna miss a bunch of other things.
Probably like 3-1. I think they can take one game.
He just stares them all down.
Thank you. I'm here with Inspired and JoJo. And for me, it feels like we've been waiting for the best of 5 between FlyQuest and C9, almost the whole split. How important does it feel now to know that the winner of this series goes to Worlds? But more importantly, like, you would be able to beat JoJo. How does it feel?
Yeah, I think the ego battle is a bit more important than that.
I mean, to be honest, the loser of the first 100 Thieves later on anyways to go to Worlds, so I think the series is more about ego, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree.
What if it's gonna reveal anything about Thanatos? I haven't seen their other episodes, so maybe I've missed it, but like, it didn't seem like he
I think that
talked
Fly's
so much.
strengths are playing around strong carry jungle. They're gonna look at teams are looking for picks. I think they play very aggressive. I wouldn't say we have a specific game plan versus Fly. I think that if we just play our game versus Fly, we'll be able to win.
I'd say Fly is a team that
We should not have a game plan versus Fly, we should just play our game. That already sounds not great, but, you know, players just say things off the top of the head. There's obviously a game plan, it's just... And it's like, this is such a common phrase, like, we'll play our game. They'll play their game, we'll play our game, but better. And it's... I mean... he's not wrong about some of the stuff he said about Fly. Obviously, yeah, they play carry junglers. They play aggressive bot lanes typically, like playing to actually win lane in bot, top lane, it depends. But like for the most part, in more recent games and series, like FlyQuest depends on Bwipo's performance. Like if Bwipo's having a bad game, the team is really suffering. If Bwipo's having a good game, the team is thriving. Like honestly, it's been more of that kind of structure because quad and bot lane seem to always at least provide. So it's just like, is the top lane going to be an issue? And they didn't say anything about that.
Is very good at finding opportunities and coming to them.
Could barely hear him.
Soldier's not here, guys. He's split. Okay, TP. Can we slowly help me or no? Help. Real not there. My bad. Carry arrow, guys. Hey, we can still look at this shit. Okay, slowly. Slow. I'll just try to flash in. Shit. It's not bad, by the way. There's a car. It's not that bad, guys. Kill her next time if you can. Yep.
Maybe I can defend.
Okay, so when they're doing this, by the way, so he's caught. I remember this. He got caught. You know, this is his fault. He's fucking up.
Split. Okay, TP. Can we slowly help me or no?
He says, can we TP, whatever. Wait, you see?
Soldier's not here, guys. He's split. Okay, TP. Can we slowly help me or no?
I don't know why he's saying can TP. Like, everyone just needs to get the fuck out. Honestly, everyone needs to just get out, and you just run. He blocks it successfully, and then everyone just runs away. Like, that's just the goal, right? They're trying to get away from this shit. This guy flashes in. Now Thanatos needs to, like, stop Bwipo at all costs so that his MF can hit, right? So, like, he needs to go in and, like, R the Renekton, but he's just still playing for himself. It's not looking good.
It's not bad, by the way.
And yeah, you know, there's a very high chance that, like, Thanatos will probably die, but again, it's just, it is what it is.
It's not that bad, guys. Kill her next time if you can. Yep.
Maybe I can defend.
Yeah. Good luck.
Yep.
I'm up in 10 second. 10 second me. He's looking small there. He's not hitting. Looks small there? Yeah, I'm looking small there. Yeah. I'm in 3 second, okay? I'm in 2 second. Me, 2 second. Smolder, no flash. Smolder, no flash. Looking smolder.
Look here, guys.
Yeah, next. We kill Renekton.
Renekton no flash.
Kill Renekton. Yeah. Elder and Baron is up,
we can
go both, by the way.
Yeah.
Guys, can we not end? It's 40 seconds.
I think it's
Put your mic up,
just get Elder and then Dragon, guys. Maybe it's not
We can
here.
get both.
Yeah. Okay, we need to think about TP.
Yeah.
That wasn't
See
bad.
what they do, guys.
Yeah.
Can we send?
That wasn't bad at all.
Hey, look Renekton. I'm going Smolder, guys. I'm going Smolder. Okay. Ash is done. Ash is one shot.
I'm killing Astra.
Smolder's low, guys. We should try to turn while we have minions. We can. Play slow, okay? Kill Renekton.
Look me, guys.
Careful, we're low as fuck, okay,
Look
guys?
Thanatos.
Look Thanatos, guys.
Smolder's still alive.
We don't have Elder, guys. Just wait for
There's
me.
1v4, guys.
Yeah, Farmog,
Yeah, help Thanatos, guys. Help Thanatos.
Yeah, we need to life still first. We need to slow down, yes. I'm healing. Just relax, guys. Don't die, Thanatos. So.
You can just heal from BT. We have so much time, guys. We have so much time, okay?
Yeah. Nope. No flash. Let's go with this.
I just outsparked. You know what inspired me? Look. He was like, ah. That was him. He just did it right now.
So,
Careful, we're low as fuck.
I'm listening to what they're saying, and once this guy dies,
We don't have Elder, guys. Just wait for me.
There's 1v4, guys.
Yeah, Farmog,
Yeah, help Thanatos, guys. Help Thanatos.
We need to life still first. We need to slow down, yes. I'm healing. Just relax, guys.
yeah, I really wish people would just relax in this situation. Whoever's saying that, who's that saying, Blabber?
We need to life still first. We need to slow down, yes. I'm healing. Just relax, guys.
Because in the end of the day, like, it's true. It's 3v1. Yes, there is some worry that, like, Quad can outplay in some senses. Like, if he gets the right Q or something, it can be really problematic. But with supers, with Baron, it's a done deal, right? Done deal. He doesn't have flash yet. MF has flash. We're chilling, okay? And she just needs to live steal. She's already live stealing, so we're fine. So yeah, a clear comms. You need clear comms in these situations.
You can just heal from
Like
BT.
Thanos just like put himself in a little awkward spot where it's like it's just not worth it. And then Quad ends up like kind of killing himself, but it's like impossible.
Look. He was like, ah. That was him. He just did it right now. Wow, they're so tilted.
Let's go. It's fine.
See, JoJo says they're so tilted, but there's one thing I know. But like, it really depends. Sometimes people do overreact, but they're good at cooling down after. You know what I mean? Like they know how to chill after. And
no, it's not that. Like it's really. I mean, I shouldn't flip it, but like my whole top side's up.
Yeah.
Instead of taking 3 camps and grubs, he's defended his blue buff. It's like, and if I just ran down instead of to mid, I can't even die because their ball lane's dead. It's like what he's doing. I mean, it's like kind of weird to say, but like he's like doing something so stupid that
Most people wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, I will considering about it. I will considering about it, but
Like with control. I mean, I agree.
But if they didn't swap, we have to go guys. Everyone would have Kyle the whole game, and they would have an easy lane to play through.
Walk and talk.
I mean, we can think about it. I just think that Smolder is really good. They were sure.
Yeah.
Didn't reveal enough. I couldn't figure out enough from how they were talking with each other.
Careful, guys. I'm doing my TP.
I'm zoning. Red on flash. Red on flash.
Yeah, turn back.
Guys, can we try to fight?
Run to me.
Okay, I need to.
Yeah, we can try slowly.
If you're not gonna use, we can look slowly.
Yeah.
Run the flash.
Look, roll, guys. Slowly.
Look,
Okay, small.
Close the red on flash.
Try out Jojo.
it's
That's
hard,
not
it's
good.
hard.
Fuck, I'm drunk.
Terrible.
Yeah, sorry. Try to just not give him a penta.
Yeah, true.
I think I'm not playing Jigs, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't think Ziggs is a little problem.
I mean, it's not even that, like...
I mean, he's not wrong. Like, in the end of the day, they played MF. Things went well. It's a great pick if this in this meta. Ziggs is also a really good pick, but Berserker's not really that good at it. And obviously, if the scoreline is what it is, it's clearly not just that, right? But I think if a player's not feeling a pick, you're done with it. You know, like, it sucks, but you're not going with it.
Thanatos and everyone, do not scared about to make the mistakes. Like, you guys will make the mistake. They will make the mistake. No worries. Like, if you're scared of to make the mistake and you're not playing the game the way that we wanna play the game, then it's gonna be shit. Like, just accept the situations and mistakes. We can move on from there, you know?
So after we win like 5-5 or like something, we definitely need like some share. I feel like it's like so hype and then
Hold on. I might need subtitles because they're kind of quiet.
we win like 5-5 or like something, we definitely need like some share. I feel like it's like so hype and then like we just talk random shit. So yeah, we don't make good decisions.
Just the way that we wanna play the game.
Because right now he's saying basically like to Thanatos, like, chill out. Like, don't worry about making mistakes. If it happens, it happens. Move on with it and keep playing the game. Don't play scared. I mean, that's basically saying don't play scared. Again, a pretty common thing to say.
It's gonna be shit. Like, just accept the situations and mistakes. We can move on from there, you know?
So after we win like 5-5 or like something, we definitely need like some share. I feel like it's like so hype and then like we just talk random shit. So yeah, we don't make good decisions like this.
We gotta go against it. But did you hear me, Berserker, when I said I don't have smite?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said to finish it too, but I thought we thought we could
said so late, no? You were already going. It was like 7K. I should have.
I mean, I called it.
Yeah. We cannot mark Iron like they were Adil and
So when you
Jin.
don't have Ignite, why you say nature is free?
I didn't say that.
No, anyone say nature is fucking free?
Yeah, everyone thinks at the time that we are the smite.
Yeah, that's right.
But we need getting off the things.
So it sounds like Berserker is almost saying like there's just too much random shit being said. Like after like winning fights, like we're not like progressing our comms in terms of like what we need to do next. There's just a lot of like random, like when I say random stuff, it's just like stuff that doesn't really lead to anything. Like the first thing that happens after you win a fight is fix the lanes, what are our lane assignments, and then how do we play the map off that. That is like the first thing you always do after winning a fight. And then like, do you need to take bases? Because, you know, sometimes when you win a fight, the wave might be in a neutral state. So it's actually better for you to just push it out and base a little bit later. Like, yeah, you could base with everyone in that moment, but maybe pushing that wave out later in the moment. Well, then with the delayed base is fine because they have to catch the wave far up because the tier 1 is dead. And then you have a timer to go join the team. Then you get mid control because they're addressing the top wave or like whatever the wave is. You get mid control and then you can bounce up to when this wave is now back in neutral, and now you have control of both lanes, and then you can play for vision. Like, that's a very common thing to do. Maybe that's what he's talking about. Not 100% sure, though, because it's not super clear.
Quibble's ready for re-entry, and JoJo cannot get away. Blabber and Vulcan now caught in the Emperor.
Yeah, they got crushed again. This time he is on the MF though.
FlyQuest mid laner. FlyQuest moves to match point.
Dantos, you okay?
Yeah.
You good?
Yeah.
Why you think? What do you think went wrong last game? Beside Baron, obviously.
We just have to be more precise with our calls now.
Yeah.
Like we're out macroing these guys every single time.
Yeah.
We just have to stick with one plan. And obviously team fights have to position better.
Yeah.
But I think if we just do that, we can easily win these.
Let's fucking win.
Let's just win. Win in peace.
River, Vulcan's gonna die through the flash. Whippo into the back once more, looking for Berserker. Blabber dies, trying to hold the rest of FlyQuest at bay as Thanatos is not tanky enough. A double kill for the Jarvan. Another team fight for FlyQuest. Berserker is jumped on and absolutely destroyed. Quad is unstoppable. FlyQuest will not be denied. They're going to finals and they're going to worlds.
I'm trying to think about this. I'm sure the review that happens after this is gonna be the most telling. Here we go.
When we use our flash on the Jerry, is it the better to swap on the top right?
I can just like drop and then like run to top. I'm not sure if you can dive like easily.
Yeah, I mean, we're only using 4, and it's gonna be turret trade. He can stay there maximum 1 wave.
Yeah.
We played 3 games of like winning comp, couldn't end, and then last game I think we just didn't have Prio anywhere. Like JoJo can't play the game too, because Leona can go mid, because I mean, or not Leona, because they have bot push. They also have Jarvan.
It's a pretty common thing to do, to be honest. Like, you'll say like, it definitely is true. Like, when you talk about the draft, like, I mean, our comp was this shit. Like, we just drafted badly. Like, it's really hard to win this game anyways. And yeah, I mean, like I said, it is true. That last game they drafted, terrible.
I'm playing Lilia, so like we have no pile anywhere.
I feel like the whole series today is something that you guys have been doing really good on the swaps, the drop swaps, or trading after we have like some sort of drops during the screens, and also like play the side. You guys choose the aggressive choices that you can take the advantages. Like in our screen looks like that, but on the stage today we are very busy for the defending everything, and then when we are doing it, it feels really desperate. Like you don't get any advantages, so that like we might have to go this, you know, like transfer our screen games to the stage. And also when you go to the stage, we should look for our stage games, and then we need play what in a make sense way. Feel like first 2 games it's kind of not make sense to we are being on the losing position at all point. Like if, like let's say, if anything was smarter, one mistake, we cannot play the game, then we should always first pick smarter, you know? It's kind of not make sense to like how we play the game, and we have such a good advantages, we are not using it.
That is true.
Oh yeah, like
that is true. I do remember the first game. It was not close. Like look how the early game went. Like they had such a massive lead that it was astounding. Like I didn't feel like C9 was gonna win after that game, because it took them so much effort just to bring it to a win for how the game was going. He's not wrong that Smolder on this patch is ridiculous and probably should be one picked. He's saying like he does compliment about like lane swaps and things that they were doing correctly in scrims and how these are not really transferring the best on the stage. Yeah, I will admit that like a coach who talks quietly and such after a series like that, it does feel, I don't know. I'm not sure. I guess it really depends on the players, but I feel like as someone who like on the teams I've been on and then just like thinking about it, if I was a player or like this was like during when I was like on like a sports team, I feel like a lot of this stuff is just gonna like go over my head and I'm not gonna give a shit unless there's like more energy to it. To be honest, like I'm literally gonna just be like in my thoughts, not really thinking about like what is being said by him in some ways.
Yeah, Senna game too. We were too dizzy at dragging down and up. Like game one, I thought felt good because we have like it's kind of different. We have all the priorities.
It's his style in the end of the day, but like I need some more energy. You know, I just need a little bit more energy going on.
But in the game 2 and 3, it feel like we're kind of like pretty defensive in a way that feel like they are not doing anything, something special, but we are too busy that we wanna reading them like a book, like we are like trying to defending everywhere so that we are not even going to the enemy jungle like single time, something like that. So
that's interesting in that. So he's basically saying how the enemy team, FlyQuest, and it is true, FlyQuest takes a lot of high percentage plays. So it's not like they're the hardest team to read always. They do make some interesting plays, I will say that, especially around side lane and like how they move around with Inspired at times. But it is true that they're not exactly like the hardest team to read compared to like Team Liquid. And if you're just like always answering their plays, not like creating your own, not like even side trading when it's good, you do drop your advantage. You're like what your comp's supposed to do. And so like that's what he's trying to say. Again, like I said, I personally would prefer it with more energy, but it's just how they do things.
Too negative after this loss. As long as we are getting something to win this season from this game, then it will be fine. Okay? Yeah.
Okay. Ooh, I'm not gonna lie. I don't like that. Dan, dude, he actually could have. I feel like he could have won. I feel like if he had the right speech, and like I'm gonna say it again, the word energy coming out of that series and talking to the players, that actually might be the way to like ignite everyone and get this shit going. Because it's not like there's ever been a team that wasn't like working the best, and then you're able to bring it together in the end still and make it happen. Because it is possible. But like just saying like as long as we learn something from this series and it doesn't repeat, then it's fine. And it's like, okay. Like you can imagine what happens if he says it in a different way. It could like actually help, but for me, like that felt really flat. And coming out of that series, leaving that like, you know, leaving the room, or you would say the locker room, you're just gonna dwell on your thoughts, and it is what it is. I don't know. Not my favorite way of going about it, that's for sure. So we go out to eat, have fun. Got the farmer's tan on fudge.
They cannot.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not fucking eating good like that after a loss. Fuck that. What the fuck, man? I hope this is not immediately after the loss.
One big family. Yeah. I'm okay.
Unless like they were gonna like start like arguing with each other on shit.
So they play on the Friday and then the Sunday?
I don't know, sometimes esports just feels too relaxed. You know what I mean? It's definitely how I feel at times. From situations, like it just...
During the game, we still not make our game plan Like we are trying to reading them.
I mean, they're talking about so okay. So like I said, like personally, I wouldn't go to a nice place to eat after all that shit. But if you at least can break down the game there and get more of the feelings out,
you know,
cool.
dragging everyone to the JoJo side. Yeah, you play same thing. Yeah, it doesn't mean that you're active. So like when we are winning, some laner, basically when you play Kasane kind of champion, your opinion matter less most of the time. But when we are losing, I think some laner opinion kind of matters a lot.
Wait. When we are winning, top laner specifically, when you're there playing, when we are playing, when you are playing Kasane type of champion, your opinion absolutely wrong, by the way. Completely wrong. Like, if you are the tank, you are the guy, you're the frontliner, you're feeling strong, and you're winning the game, like, you can make a lot of decisions based on how your wave is in the sides. If you're winning, obviously you can just, especially as Kasane, who's a very rare type of tank, if you're winning inside versus the Renekton, you can bully him out. You can always get shift timers. You can sit inside even versus the Renekton, which is kind of OP. You can even sack your lane if it doesn't actually do anything and the Renekton can get pushed a little bit, reinforce and play for a fast Baron. Like, there's a lot of options to do. So I think no matter what, like, yes, your opinion will matter less and more in certain areas. Like if you're playing a carry jungler, yeah, your opinion probably will matter more on keeping everyone like safe and just like stable game as you outfarm your opponent. And like if you're losing, then your opinion matters more as the tank. But like if you're losing and you're playing Kasane, you're not gonna have as many options, especially because you're probably not gonna be nearly as tanky, and you're not gonna like make the same insane plays that you could typically do, soak the same amount of damage ever since the damage reduction nerf on the W. I don't know. I probably wouldn't say that. I probably just try to keep reinforcing. You just need to have like presence the entire time.
I might just dive top if they go bot side.
Because Thanatos seems like the kind of guy who does not have presence.
Yeah.
We should take this together later. Yo, cousin, can you just come? Drag us both out. Very... Maybe he just doesn't know English well.
Or like it takes too long. Like there's a window and I'm like thinking like, can we go? And then by the time you like answer, it's already done, you know? That like, takes too long.
We'll focus so much on why someone else isn't doing something and then brush over why we inted. I just feel like it's like such an instant. Yeah, I shouldn't die here. Brush over why we inted.
Hold on.
Why someone else isn't doing something and then brush over why we inted. I just feel like it's like such an instant. Yeah, I shouldn't die here. But what the fuck are you guys doing? Like, why are you leaving me on this mid tower? Like, that's just how it feels to me. And then it's like, we just move on from the person who's actually just inting.
I feel like sometimes in game 2, I feel like there's a play to be made, and then we say we're doing it, and then we don't adapt, and then someone will die. And obviously, they shouldn't die in that position.
Yeah.
Because he can look at the map and look at his teammates. But I feel like there's a way in review to make it not seem like we're just shifting the blame. Because like a lot of times we'll say like, yeah, like we should be here. Like I died here, it's my fault. But why are you guys not here?
Yeah,
why are you guys not warning or something?
All right, Thanatos, what do you have?
First thing, we have too much DG cons, so yeah. But we about it, it's fine. And second thing, not today, but these days, jungle mid, too much die, I feel. So yeah. Today maybe I was more eating, but these days I was tilted about jungle mid, too much die, easy die, free die, and say sorry, and next game again die. Sorry is bad soccer, and I was tilted. So yeah, but if we if we improve conversation and if we come back, this problem will be fixed. Yeah, so I believe us, and also we have to focus on our screen, not other screen. That's right. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, there's a little bit to digest here. So for one, and nice thing for him to say. I mean, the hardest thing when bringing an import and someone who obviously doesn't speak English the best, because naturally, like, Vulcan doesn't speak Korean. Neither does JoJo, and neither does Blabber. So they do need to speak in English to get team-wide thoughts across, unless they're going to use a translator. But it really does mean a lot more when you yourself are saying the words. Like, to the guys around, it'll feel more impactful. So he basically said, like, yes, like, mid jungle are dying way too much. It's happening like so often, and this is actually an issue that Jensen had in scrims. Like, Jensen would be a big inter, just die the most stupid deaths. And JoJo's been like that for ages, by the way. Like, for ages, he always limit tests hard in scrims, and it does give him an edge in the laning phase in certain areas, but a lot of the other stuff kind of like falls apart a bit because there's such a heightened focus on this one area, and then the rest of it, like, isn't nearly as important. And naturally, if things go poorly in the beginning, then, like, he needs people to pick him up and whatever. And yeah, these guys are just dying in very poor ways. Look at your screen, not other screens. It's basically saying, look at the map, read the map, like, see what's happening. Like, you don't necessarily need everyone to tell you what's going on. You can make informed decisions based on what you see as well to avoid these dumb deaths. And that's pretty much what he's saying. It's not like in the most obvious way, but I'm sure everyone understands what he means by that. And it's a good thing to say. Honestly, it is a good thing to say. For the rest of the guys, you know, when Vulcan says, like, there's a play to be made, and I ask, can we do it? He's got to just take the reins in. Honestly, like, you do need to ask at times, especially when it's a leadoff, but, like, if it's a play in the moment, everyone just has to be on board. Like, you have to trust his instincts to make that play. And if you don't, then he's just going to always ask the question. And yeah, you're going to miss these opportunities, these rare opportunities. And that's where teams like Team Liquid will do better than them because they're all on board. You know what I mean? So, and I'm sure FlyQuest in some senses are as well. So that was actually a way bigger issue that Vulcan just addressed. That was, I don't know if they're gonna reach it, tap into it, but, like, that is a legit big fucking issue.
This Sunday match will be most important match on this year on our team.
Okay.
It's gonna be more important than anything else this Sunday, but I still want you guys to have a room for the breathing, and then look the game objectively, and look yourself objectively, to keep breathing and keep watching the screen, keep play the game, not on your fucking head, like simulating everything on your head, just by seeing your screen. Just see the screen, and then I know you guys play better than Horror this week or FlyQuest game. I know you guys are better players than them, so that I have huge belief that you guys can performing screens or Sunday, whatever, right?
Well, we had a tough series against Fly, and then our scrims after that were pretty disgusting in a bad way.
What did you say? Series against Fly, and then our scrims after were terrible. Okay, so they got shit on by Fly, and then they had a terrible set of scrims afterwards, which only lowers your feelings. So again, you need more energy. You need someone to, like, bring the mood up. Like, either bring the mood up or just, again, like, push each other harder. You know what I mean? I mean, that really is it. Also, by the way, the whole Vulcan thing that I said is a big issue. Yeah, that's not getting fixed in this time frame. Like, there is just
About,
there is
like,
no time to fix this.
Any problem that we think the team has, or maybe a specific teammate has, that we can maybe address, and we tried bringing them up in like a gentle way, is the way that Reaper prefaced it.
Yeah, gentleman's meeting is basically when everyone comes together and like says what's on their mind without any like nothing personal, and you can say whatever you want type of thing. So I think it was really good. Everyone just said what was on their mind, or like feedback for other players, or even the coaches or managers or anything. So yeah. I don't think anyone was like shifting blame intentionally. Like if someone runs it down, but then someone was in the wrong position, they wouldn't like blame the death because of their position, but like they would try fixing both problems. But it would just seem like the way we said it in review, it's like I died here, but why are you not here? And obviously that sounds like shifting blame, but I don't think anyone had the intention of actually shifting blame, just kind of fixing the problem. So I think we just said how to bring up both situations happens. Like if someone mispositioned, then someone should have helped them. We just talked about how to help each other and how to not shift blame and kind of solve both problems. And I think we did that pretty well.
Yeah, we had a talk yesterday after scrims because after our loss to Fly, we were having some bad scrims. I would say mainly me and Jojo were like playing pretty bad. I think that we are playing a lot better now, but like the day, right, I would say the day after, it was like pretty bad because maybe we were still upset or something. I'm not sure, but we kind of were just talking about like basically if anyone has problems with each other or like how we can make the team better or like just to get things off your chest to make sure that we're the best going forward and no one has any like resentment. I think we had a really good talk. It felt like a little bit that our comms were kind of reverting back to maybe like last split where we were over talking, trying to tell each other what to do, and it felt like we improved so much on that this split. But
okay, I'm only laughing just because when I think about it, it's like it literally makes me think of that game 1 ending situation where it just sounded like so many people were chiming in when it's just very obvious to everyone that it's a win. Just play slow, like relax. And there's a couple things I'm noticing from just listening to this that I feel like you don't want to jump into conclusions, but it is helping. And also, it's so common to it's so common in esports to hear like we had a meeting, we left all of our feelings on the table, now we know what our problem is, and then the same thing happens again and again and again and again. And nothing really gets fixed. It's just dumping, you're like venting in an open space, but then nothing's actually done about it.
After our loss, we reverted a little bit back on our scrim day, and I feel like it's been a lot better since we've talked about that. I think it was good that people got to say their mind to each other, and it's easy to fix problems when you know they're there.
For me, it's been hard to communicate with some of the team during the game. I feel like people either don't understand me or they're too focused on what they're doing and what they're thinking that they don't like actually listen. Like they can hear, but they won't, I feel like, sometimes listen, and they might say yeah or okay, but they're just saying it and they don't really process what's been said or respond accurately. So I think those two things for me were like the biggest things that we have to work on.
Those are unfixable.
Like, kind of like focus related, like what do you focus on when you play the game and where you put your energy towards during the game.
For the time frame, it's unfixable.
I think it's just
those are such major issues to have.
Kind of make our conversations more productive and just figure out how we can help each other best.
It's the kind of stuff that you would realize is happening like
make our discussion
right off in the beginning.
I think I just took away everyone's opinions and what they thought and just different perspectives. I think everyone was just thinking about everyone else's perspective more, and I think it really helped us. Yeah. Okay, we versed the winner of 100 Dig to go to Worlds. I mean, it honestly really doesn't matter who we verse. I think 100 will win, but you never know. It's Dig season. I think 100 will win, and if we play well, it should be easy for us, but we can't underestimate them.
Right now, 100 and Dig are 1-1 in their series, and 100 have been up both games, but they threw game 1, and I think that 100 will most likely win. but I think it will be close. And I'm expected to, I'm prepared to play both of them. I would say team morale is an all-time high, at least after our loss. I think we're definitely doing better.
Man, dude, there is such a difference between what was being talked about. Like, Blabber is very positive, you know, just, again, it really does just sound like the usual, like, sayings that are tossed around after a loss and things like that. I've heard these so many times. Meanwhile, Vulcan is, like, saying some real problematic shit that he doesn't seem as positive about. And Thanatos is getting tilted from people just taking scrims not seriously, which I get. Obviously, ideally, he doesn't get, like, his play in scrims doesn't get affected, but then he can address it afterwards. But I get how it can, like, screw with you in the game and then kind of make you care less. And then Berserker is just, like, chilling. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going through his head. It just sounds like he's just annoyed with everything. And on the side, he's just annoyed with everything. And then Jojo is kind of like Blabber, where he's, like, trying to look at the positive spin on a lot of things. But again, it's just, I don't know. I feel like as him, he should be taking a lot more responsibility over what the hell's happening overall. And Blabber doesn't seem like much of a leader. Honestly, he really doesn't. At least like from this, obviously it's one video. Not gonna make giant assumptions, but just from what's being seen and in their down low for being a longtime veteran, the franchise player of C9, I would expect him to be a little more forward on it. You know? Take the reins a little bit more, but he's not. That's something Inspired or Bippo would do. That's something that Impact, Core JJ, or... honestly, no, just those two. I don't know if Umti would actually do it. But Impact and Core JJ do that. These guys have all these players who are willing to, like, really have that tone. That control, but they don't have anyone, it looks like.
Fucking 600 range, so I'm always a range champ too.
Number is mini champ.
We have a free range champ right now.
Orty is not. Orty is not elite.
Hey, Reaper. It might take Yasuo over Smolder tomorrow. What?
Doesn't matter.
On blue side?
Not tomorrow, bro.
Oh, today.
Today.
Are we banning Smolder on blue now, Reaper? We're not first picking?
Yeah, we were banning Smolder.
Sounds good.
Okay, we don't have to ban Kalista anymore.
Yeah, because we play 100.
Next season?
Next season.
Quit? Wow. Yasuo.
Ooh, Quidditch, bro.
Yasuo is so fucking broken. What is this shit?
Quidditch.
He has a good Yasuo, but... and he definitely got good buffs. But yeah, if this was 14-16 Smolder, you would not give a shit about Yasuo. Like, you would just play it.
Holy shit, Tomo under Avenger.
It's interesting that they're considering banning it because they're worried about the counter picks versus it, but like I said, I would definitely test Smolder 1P and roll with it.
It's not that tilted. Yeah, I mean, normally in this kind of situation, if like it's close and he has hope, like it's kind of tilting, right? But he's shit.
I like it. This is really good. Man, Fudge is taking this shit seriously, though. I mean, he is fit. I do appreciate a guy who actually does work on his body, like, during the season. I don't know how much solo queue he played and, like, being poised to, like, slot in if they ever needed it. Low-key, I don't know if that actually would fix their problems, but... because I think his play is similar to Thanatos, it's just... he would have more comms, voice, like,
and as well as
energy.
well for their team, I guess. So I think that we just have to be careful with their mid jungle, and we don't really have a specific plan for 100, just play our game. I think Heart of Thieves is a team
Holy shit, he just said it again! We don't have a specific plan for 100, so just play our game. Obviously, again, they're addressed what are the strengths and weaknesses of the team, but it's just play our game and we'll win. But they don't have a solid game. I don't know. Hearing that never I mean, it's always gonna be said. I shouldn't complain about it. It's always gonna be said.
So we have to stay focused.
I know I've said it even.
And then don't get too exciting when you guys have some sort of advantages during the game. And we've been struggling, in my eyes, at the most of the times, or when you guys are ahead, and then when you want to go for the play, like if we are extending too much, that become a bad play. Or if we are in the control, if we are rushed too fast, it can be a bad play. So I'm not saying every plays we made is bad. I think you guys usually made a good plays and good tempo. Like your setup is usually good.
This is a very weird turn.
Just give one more, a second, not even like long, if it's worth it or not. And then even though today, if days are getting longer, let's reset every single time. Even the win or lose doesn't really matter. In the end, let's smiling together, okay? Yeah.
So my only thing to say about this, again, he definitely could have said, again, English is not his first language, so I get like how it can go a little bit further in terms of like how he has to describe things, but yeah, it did not have to be that long for like what he was trying to get at. Like, all right, guys, it's the first game. Let's relax. I mean, like, I guess it really depends on how you want to go into this, because 100 swings hard. That's how they like to play. They swing hard. They play a pretty wild game. They're not nearly as good in macro-wise, so being like, they're gonna, like, let's relax, guys. We have better macro sense, and we can get good lanes to like just play out. We have to watch out for these things, and don't rush the plays. Take a second. You know, like, you kind of go in with that. And when it goes too long, it can lose its effect, like a speech. So that's the only thing I could say about that. Smiling together, like, I don't know if that's their motto, like, we smile together, win together, kind of thing. Hey, clearly, like, they have a gentleman's room, so I guess that's their motto.
Takes him out. C9 is crumbling in front of the Thieves. JoJo's got to be careful every time he distorts forward. You know 100 Thieves are going to be looking for him. Bullet Time does a little, but it's only hitting Sniper. Vulcan throwing it down. Thanatos, Guardian Angel popped. JoJo dropped. Cloud9 stopped in their tracks. 100 Thieves say damn the doubters and take game number 1.
Now the thing is, oh dude, this is a big thing, by the way. When you go into a series, it really depends on what the mood is, but for how this team has been, they have not been having a good time, right? As of late, Cloud9 has not had a good time. So knowing this as a coach, honestly thinking about it now, I feel like he may need to have more energy, like spike their energy up, and get the first win, get a really good draft, and just like a very normal, stable draft, and get that first win. Because the first one will be like, okay, we got this, we can do this shit. But if you lose and their mental like is already cracking based on like what's been going on this entire time, that's not good. We'll see what happens. Maybe I'm wrong. We'll see how they react. Oh, they're not gonna show the game. Oh, they're not gonna show the review after game 1. I've been really curious. Now they crushed this game. Yeah, I remember this. Yeah, they crushed this game. I'm trying to remember who. Tomo was really whatever with 6. I remember that. I think. Shit, I can't remember. I'm saying I remember this game, but it's like I couldn't remember exactly how it went.
Jerry walks up, we can flash on him and I can kill, okay guys?
Okay. I can learn now. Look, Jojo. I'm looking Zero, Jojo.
I suppose.
Looking Zero,
Look,
looking Zero.
can I look? Can I look?
Look Zero. They went in. I'm gonna flash here. Chenny is dead.
Oh, Jerry 1 HP. Jerry's out of the fight, guys. He's facing.
Nothing.
Close. Copy.
Look,
just slow.
Yeah, no, okay, no. Next one, they're sending it.
They're sending someone tank.
Blocking. I'm Mikhails. Yeah.
Alright, flash. Look at my kills.
I'm gonna flash, guys. I still have Mikhails.
Yeah, look me.
That was a good secondary engage by Ayla.
Bro, dead.
They might go on me. Zeri ult, okay? I'm here. Zeri ult. I'm gonna flash here. I can double him. Kill Maka. Zeri ult. Try to defend the base, guys.
First Nexus turret is already down, and the second is in the sights of 100 Thieves. Cloud9.
The way JoJo was positioning and the way some of his looks were going was not that great.
Are 1 game away from Worlds.
So now, okay, well, we'll see this. Because now the energy's like way down. At least it should be for how these guys are. How does he turn it? They're not gonna show shit, are they? Shit, they didn't show anything, man. How frustrating. I really wanted to know. How did they bring? How do you bring them back? And I do remember what the pros said. They said when they saw his Berserker lock in 6, they knew it was 1. It was free. I will say this. Again, I don't know how much Berserker is talking, but when you're a core carry, like a legit core carry, you should be talking how you want fights to go and dictate that. I don't know if that's what he's doing, but it's definitely something that should happen. Naturally, of course, you can say on the other end that, like, yeah, my top laner, my jungler, whoever, should be giving the right space, so I don't have to necessarily do that. But like I said, carries do need to talk. It looks like it hurt Thanatos a lot more, huh? I guess because he got passed up quite a bit for promotions, for options. And yeah, this was a legit shot to make Worlds, and he would not do it. The most interesting thing would be if Thanatos comes back next year by C9, and he actually starts taking over, like, comms and, like, actually pushing hard. For Vulcan, like, this just fucking sucks, because for him, it's like he's just lost, like, so many times. Like, did not beat the allegations several times now. For Jojo, obviously, it's just... it's unacceptable for him. For Berserker, he's just incredible talent, and it was just wasted. For Blabber, I feel like he's a little bit more used to it. It still sucks, but I feel like he's definitely more used to it than the rest of these guys just because... yeah, he's been on a lot of big-time rosters for how this goes. You never really know what to say in the room after a loss like that. Like, it's very quiet. It definitely does take a leader to, like, I swear to God, if Reaper comes in and just says something quietly, I mean, his words will mean a lot, that's for sure. Because no one else here seems like they're gonna say anything, like, player-wise.
Nice try. Try Atlantis. Sorry, I was useless today.
All you could say, he doesn't know what to say. All he can do is put pressure back on himself.
Yeah, so right after we lost, I was really disappointed. I felt like I worked the whole year to make these international events. I wasn't able to make either, and I was just really devastated.
I just thought, no way, I'm not gonna make Worlds, or like, you know, I'm not gonna be there or something. And then after like 3 days, I'm kind of getting sad, to be honest.
I cannot ignore sad emotion. So just take some sad time, and after 1 or 2 weeks, I can reset. Yeah.
In the regular season, we had a 6-1 record, right? But I knew our team is not that good. We just had a good fit with the patch. Like that was just, we played that patch so much better than the others. That's it. We were not better than the other teams. I knew at the time, and then I was talking with the players. If next patches come, our strengths are gone. Some of the AP champions are back, which means our AP junglers are getting weaker, and in general, AD mid are getting weaker. I think I could prepare that patch more and better.
I think if there's one thing I would change about this year, it would be that I would change like the way I communicate with my teammates. I feel like there were times where I didn't like what was happening, and instead of voicing it directly to them, I told my manager or my coach, but I feel like I should have just been more direct because it is my team and I
No
need
way.
to, you know, make sure that my team is doing well.
Just that I think I need to be more demanding.
That's crazy to hear from Blabber say that, because Blabber is the guy who should always be, like, again, for the experience he has, for what he stands for C9, like, he needs to be the leader, the guy on that team. Like, I don't know why, like, but then I don't understand why we're pushing Blabber as, like, the figurehead of C9 because he's just been there for so long, because clearly he doesn't want the role. He doesn't want the role, so it needs to be someone else, but they don't have someone else. Impact will easily take it every time. It doesn't matter what team he's on, Impact will always take, like, leadership on the team. It's just how he is. It's just how Inspired is. Like, certain guys will naturally do it, but for him, like how Bjergsen was with TSM in a way, that is what Blabber should have been, but he's clearly not. The other guys just kind of say they're sad, whatever. Reaper says, pretty much, it makes sense. I mean, like, when I watch their games, like, yeah, Blabber being on a champions is full clears, does his thing, wins the game. The thing is, those champions were still fine. On the patch that they played, it was still very doable to play that patch that way. Like, Lilia, Brand, you can play Nidalee at times even. Like, it was actually doable to do that. Yes, Sejuani, Maokai, Ivern, Vi, like, these were, like, the big promo jungle picks, like, enabling jungle picks. And then, even then, there wasn't, like, an insane amount of AP mids occurring. Like, it's just Azir, sometimes Orianna, sometimes LeBlanc, but it was still predominantly AD mids, like Corki, Trist, Yone. So that clearly was not like a 100% like full patch switch, which now it's definitely becoming more of that. 14-18 should be a lot more like that, from the additional buffs to mages and certain AD junglers and additional nerfs to AP junglers, but I think they got lost on their way for what works for them, and then maybe they tried to over pivot from what works in the end of the day. But I think the bigger issues was more so just, you know, regardless of whether, like, yeah, like the patch was really good for them, that is true. But for sure, the bigger issues was just like it is true, they don't listen to each other, they don't follow through and trust each other's plays, and it just becomes a giant mess.
Landing and controlling as a support, that's kind of your job. You
see, he
have the ability
even
to
after this,
because you have less things to
after
click.
this, he's even
I need
stating
to
like,
play better so that
I should just be forcing him to do it.
And I think we need to, as a team, be
and
able
someone
to
has to
more
step up
and
to
have
the
more
plate
confidence.
eventually.
And I think for me,
like, you just
that'll
have
be the
to
focus for
like
next year.
Imagine in the back of your head, like, some stupid shit keeps happening at work over and over again, and like, unless someone decides to just take up like whatever the fix is, it's gonna keep happening over and over again. Now, of course, I will say this is a little different because in terms of just like a regular job, yeah, you might not want to do it anyways, because it's like, why would I want to take additional hours when I'm getting paid the same and I'm not even getting paid a ton? But for these guys are making a shit ton of money, playing an incredible job, right? Like, you're playing video games for like entertainment, like, that's crazy, right? So yeah, at that point, to me, I'm surprised that sometimes players just do not decide to take like the mantle on things. Like, they kind of, esports players are a little too shy at this shit, in my opinion. And I wish that was not the case. I really wish it wasn't.
When I first time joined C9, I was like 25, 26. I had so much fire inside of my mind. Whenever I see players are slacking, inting, match day. Jack knows I'm gonna yelling at players, so every time that does happen, Jack comes to me, go easy, dude. Like, more time I'm putting the time on coach. You know, I could find out something different way than just yelling at the people. Maybe I encourage more. Maybe I supporting them so that they have more confidence. They understand why this.
So
is
he's still
important
finding
to
himself.
do.
I mean,
But if I could change one thing, I want to yell at the team.
oh my god. See, even he recognizes it. He's like, because okay, the biggest issue you have, if you ever like taught or like were a coach or something, if you're the guy who always yells, you can't switch from being the guy who never yells then. It's such a drastic change. I did this when I was student teaching, where I was kind of like a calm teacher, just trying to get students to do the right thing, listen, all that stuff. And then my teacher told me I need to be more like authoritative, like yell more. And I did that. And it was such a drastic change. I think I lost students from doing that. Like it really screwed with the environment. There's a time and place for everything. And like I said, I felt like the way his approach for this split, it just felt too low energy. It felt too, not enough impact. And for sure, there's definitely moments in this video where it's like, he needed to yell. He needed to be pissed at them. They needed to know that he was pissed at them. They need to know that they were playing like shit. You're playing like shit. You can't do this anymore. Like, this is unacceptable. How is this even acceptable for any of us to do this? Like, do you not have heart? Do you not have heart? Do you not care? Like, this needed to be said, but it wasn't said. And I don't know if that like dampened everyone else on the team to not talk that way because it's not the coach is not talking that way. And that could also be the case. Maybe these players talked a different way at certain times. I don't know, but
sometimes I feel like you just have to showing you're mad.
Yes. Oh my god, yes. So this is cool to at least see, like, in the reflections, like, he's thinking about how he has been. And he realizes, like, where he fucked up.
That's what I'm sending my energy to, because otherwise I have nowhere to send it. So we have a boot camp in December planned in Korea. So we'll pick it back up then, start the season, start preparing.
In off season, I'm gonna set my routine, solo queue, streaming, eat healthy food, and wake up early.
I mean, our result was like disappointing for us and then you guys. So I want to like apologize to you guys, and then I'm thankful for the like cheering for us. So yeah.
Thank you guys for supporting us. I know it's been a rough year, but next year will be better. And
that's what he always
hopefully
fucking says. He says that every year, by the way. Next year will be better. Next year will be better.
I know you guys so disappointed that we don't make words, but I still believe C9 is best team in NA, so we can win next season. Yeah, believe us.
That's it. Okay. My thoughts after that, like, yeah, I think I probably said most of what I wanted to say throughout this entire situation that they presented. Like, in the end of the day, someone has to step up. It has to be anyone, either a player or a coach. Somebody needs to step up and get shit going. Like, and it just didn't happen. It looked like it never happened. And even though, like, you could say Reaper was identifying the issues, he saw the issues at hand, even Vulcan was addressing the issues openly, I felt like not enough was talked about that, focused on that, and, like, coming up with real ways to deal with it. Because if you can't fix that issue, then it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes, like, something does pop up, and it's just, you just can't get around. You just can't get around it. You can't figure it out. And that's when you change a player or players, because it's just like, this guy literally wants to try this, but then when I try it, his teammates are still not listening or doing it. And we've been working on this for 2 to 3 weeks, trying these different results. Still not happening. I don't know what to do. And then you switch a player. Or you ask for help. Like, you know, whatever the case is. But yeah, I don't know. For me, looking at Blabber, he needs a leader, man. They need a leader so bad. And this guy's not it. And Vulcan didn't have it in him. Berserker and Thanatos were never going to do it because they don't talk a lot at all. So it leaves to Jojo. And Jojo apparently didn't want to rise to this occasion either. I guess he thought he could depend on his teammates more compared to how it's viewed on EG that he was the leader, like he was taking more control and putting himself in those positions and leading the team and like, oh, this is how I saw the game and we made that play through how I saw the game. So I don't know. No one decided to do it, and that's what we saw. And it has fell apart over time across the entire season. So thanks for watching, guys. And if you like this kind of content, I could do more of it. But until next time, yeah, see ya.